Today was one of the biggest news days that we've literally had in a while. Donald Trump went to China with some of the biggest business leaders in the world. Larry Fink, Elon Musk, Jensen Huang. The Federal Reserve officially got a new chairman as well. Inflation is finally heating back up. AI companies are exploding. And best of all, guys, Bitcoin is sitting around $80,000 while all this is happening. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 5 biggest stories happening today in the simplest way possible so anybody can understand what's going on. Because honestly, the world feels like it's changing very fast right now. So let's get to the biggest story, guys. Trump went to China, and he went with a full loaded team. He literally just traveled to China for major meetings with the Chinese president, Xi Jinping. And this wasn't just a normal political meeting. And some of the biggest business people in the world are literally on that plane with Donald Trump. People connected to Tesla, Elon Musk, big AI companies, finance, tech, and huge manufacturing companies. Well, right now, guys, the United States and China are competing in a lot of areas. We can't hide that. The number 1 is artificial intelligence. Number 2 is computer chips. Number 3, technology, manufacturing, and money. And both countries literally want to become the leader. Think of it like 2 giant companies competing to become the most powerful company in the world. That's basically what's happening. And because China makes so many products for the entire world, what happens between the US and China literally affects everybody. The prices, technology, jobs, the stock market, and even Bitcoin. So investors everywhere are literally paying attention to this trip. Something also just happened, guys. The Federal Reserve just changed leaders. Now let's talk about this huge story for a second. Kevin Warsh officially became the new chairman of the Federal Reserve today. It's official. He's in. And if you're new to this stuff, you're probably wondering, what even is a Federal Reserve? The Federal Reserve, guys, is also called the Fed. And it's basically the organization that controls interest rates and helps manage the U.S. economy.
With this new mortgage rate drop, you could be saving more than $100 a month on your monthly payment.
So when people say the Fed raised rates, the Fed cut rates, and the Fed printed money, they're talking about this group. And interest rates affect everything. Your car payments, your house payments, your credit cards you use, business loans, investments, and the entire stock market. And best of all, crypto. They literally affect everything. So when a new Fed chairman takes over, investors pay very close attention. And not just investors, but the entire world. Because one person can completely change the direction of the entire economy.
Bitcoin doesn't trouble me. I think of it as an important asset that can help inform policymakers when they're doing things right and wrong. It is not a substitute to the dollar. I think it can often be a very good policeman for policy. And if I were to speak more broadly to what did Charlie Munger and others perhaps have in mind, there is a proliferation of securities that go under all sorts of names. Many, if not most of them, are not worth what they might be being traded for. So what did Charlie say, and maybe his pal Warren say? There's the innovators, the imitators, and the incompetents. They're real innovators that are happening in and around that new technology. And what I would try to impart towards businesses and bankers is that the underlying technology that Mark showed me in that white paper, or tried to show me in that white paper, it's just software. It's just the newest, coolest software that will provide us an ability to do things that we could never have done before.
And right now, people are nervous because inflation is rising. So let's talk about inflation. Inflation, it's not hard. You can't hide it. It's literally heating back up. So let me educate you guys a little bit. What is inflation? Inflation basically means things are becoming more expensive over time. The gas you get, the gas you put in your car, food, rent, insurance, literally everything. And today, new inflation data came out, and it's hotter than expected, guys. And it kind of scared investors.
Fuck your fucking options. Fuck your fucking zero DTE calls. Fuck the economy. Fuck inflation. Fuck your soft landing. I am sick of this shit. Fuck Wall Street. Fuck you all. I'm fucking out.
Because when inflation stays high, the Federal Reserve usually keeps interest rates high too. And high rates make it harder for people and companies to borrow money. And that just slows the economy down. So right now, the entire market is trying to figure out what happens next. Will inflation calm down or will rates stay high? They're also asking, will the economy slow down? Guys, nobody fully knows yet. And that uncertainty is why markets have been moving around so much.
Markets are up 3% today, baby. We're going to the moon. Slow down. The correction is coming.
Actually, historically speaking, markets recover within 18 months of every crash.
Buy everything. Sell before it's too late.
Or you could just invest consistently every month and dollar cost averaging wins.
Another topic, guys, that's huge right now is AI. And it's literally exploding right now. So guys, let's talk about AI. Artificial intelligence is becoming one of the biggest stories in the entire world. Literally, who owns artificial intelligence is gonna own the entire world. That's why China and United States are so big on this. Companies like NVIDIA have exploded because AI needs extremely powerful computer chips. And right now, every major company wants to be involved in AI. Why? Because people believe AI could completely change the entire future. Jobs, businesses, schools, healthcare, entertainment, everything. And honestly, this feels a lot like the early internet days. At first, people thought the internet was, just a trend. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, you started using it without even realizing it. And then suddenly, it changed the entire world. That's how many people feel about AI right now. And that's why governments and billionaires are paying so much attention to it. Now, guys, let's get into our favorite topic, Bitcoin. Let me explain to you why Bitcoin is still holding strong. Even with all this chaos happening, it is still holding around $80,000. And guys, that's kind of important because Bitcoin usually reacts to fear, inflation, interest rates, and global uncertainty, like the war we're in right now. And even though markets have been nervous, Bitcoin is still holding up pretty well. And more people are literally starting to look at Bitcoin differently now, not just as internet money, but as something separate from governments and central banks. Because nobody can print more Bitcoin. You can always print more money, but you can't print more Bitcoin. There will only be 21 million Bitcoin in existence, and that's its superpower. And that's why some people see it as digital gold, especially during uncertain times. So while two governments argue, China and United States, and while inflation continues to rise, and while countries are literally competing, Bitcoin literally just keeps existing. And that's why people keep paying attention to it. So guys, today, we had a huge day. We had Trump going to China. We had a new Federal Reserve chairman. We had inflation heating up, AI exploding, and Bitcoin still holding around $80,000. And all of these stories are connected to the future of money, technology, and the global economy. And honestly, guys, it feels like the world is entering a completely different era right now. But I want to know what you guys think. What story matters the most? AI, China, the Fed, Bitcoin? Drop your comments down below, guys. Because these two countries, China and United States, can affect the entire world. Whether you believe, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, it does not matter. Today is the most important day of the entire year. Today literally determines everything. What do you guys think is going to happen? Drop it down in the comments. Until then, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.